Hey team, welcome to video number 1 in the series of trainings of the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club. I'm super psyched because this is going to be a brand new experience where you get to join other people who want to make progress in their lives, be it personally or professionally, and they want some kind of structure to help them stay on track. Now, there's a lot going on in the world right now, in case you haven't noticed. And it can really be easy for your own progress and your own goals and your own dreams to get pushed to the wayside because there's a lot of noise happening. There's a lot going on in your personal life, your professional life. You have a full plate. We all live very full lives in modern day life now. So this is designed to help keep you focused on your dreams and on track to making real progress toward those dreams every 4 weeks. Now, those 4-week chunks, I'm going to refer to those as cycles. Now, throughout the calendar year, there are, let's say, 3 times 4, 12 4-week cycles and 4 reflect and reset weeks. So right now we're in the first quarter of the year. We're just coming to the end of the first 4 weeks, which is perfect because now we get to set up with some new goals and some new strategies to get ready for cycle number 2. Now, for all intents and purposes, you don't really have to know, like, what cycle am I in? Like, what's going on? Like, where am I in the progress? You don't have to know that. Just follow along with the different trainings. There's going to be 6 of them, okay? 6 different videos that are designed to help you walk through the exercises. So at the end of them, you're going to have super clear goals. You're going to have a super clear strategy to get to those goals. And you're going to feel really good about being successful over the next 4 weeks. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Now, the 6 steps, I put together an acronym for you to remember, although, the worksheet explains it here, and you're going to get a copy of that PDF. You can just download it for free in the comments. It's DOCPAL, D-O-C-P-A-L. Now, we're going to start with D, which is dream. Then we're going to move into organize, clarify, plan, act, and loyal. Okay, so every section is going to have its own video. Today, we're only going to focus on the dream section of the process, okay? Because we got to start with a vision. We got to start with dreaming big and asking yourself, what do I actually want to be working toward in the first place? Now, the dream portion is surprisingly difficult for virtually everybody because as we go through life, we have all kinds of influences and opinions coming in to shrink what we think we should go for, what we deserve to go for, what's the smart thing to go for. We have a lot of different adjectives that creep in there that help to water down what it is you actually want. If you get quiet and you really start to sift through, if I could just have anything, do anything, be anything, have anything, give anything in this lifetime, what would that be? It's very rare that we get carte blanche to dream as big and as bold and as unfettered as possible. This is your opportunity to do that. Now, we're going to walk through 7 different exercises to help get you to that core. Full disclaimer, you do not have to do all 7 exercises for this first video. You can if you want to, but 1, I'm not grading you, so no, you're not going to get bonus points if you do all of them and everyone else only does 2. The point of offering 7 is to give you options. Everyone approaches their sense of what do I want through a different lens. And so I want to give you 7 different opportunities to approach that answer to what do I really want? So you can choose which angle you want to approach that question and answer from. Okay. So the first one is, and I'm referring actually when you see me looking at my computer screen, I'm actually referring to a workbook that's the one that you get to download. It's the PDF. So we're going to dive into the dream portion. I highly suggest that as you go through the workbook, you also have blank paper next to you because there's going to be some space on the workbook for you to actually write on it if you want to print it out. But I would suggest that you have blank paper so that you can really go wild and you can just write as much as you want and you don't have to worry about fitting it in the margins or the dedicated spaces, etc. So exercise option number 1 for dreaming, I refer to it as if I had. Now, when I work with my clients, I talk about our team resources, time, energy, attention, and money. These are things that we all wake up with some quantity of every single day. Now, first of all, I don't want you going around saying, I have none of that. I got no time. I got no money. My attention is all over the place. That is not productive to this particular exercise, okay? You have some of each of those. Team resources, time, energy, attention, and money. So here's where you get to ask. If I had the team resources, if I had the time, if I had the energy, if I had the attention, if I had the money, right? I would love to be ... You use that as a prompt, you fill in the blank. Now, if I had the team resources, if I had the time, the energy, the attention, the money, here's what I would love to do. So the first one was, I would love to be. So it might be, I would love to be a teacher. I would love to be active in my community. I would love to be more present with my family. You can fill in whatever you want. The first one is be. The second one is do. I would love to do. It might be, I would love to go skydiving. I would love to take a 2-week vacation. I would love to build a nonprofit. I would love to run for office. This is the being. Sorry, this is the doing. What would you love to do if you had the time, the energy, the attention, the money? And then finally, if I had the time, energy, attention, and or money, I would love to have. So essentially, we're talking about if I had unlimited resources, I would love to be, I would love to do, I would love to have. Okay, so that's exercise number 1. Like I said, super simple, very straightforward, but it can don't just because it's simple, don't undervalue what it could bring you, because something like this has unlocked lots of clarity and lots of light bulbs for so many people. So just because it's simple, don't shortchange yourself. Go through the prompt if this is one of the exercises you want to do for the dreaming exercise, and see what comes up. No censorship, no judgment, just let it flow onto the page. Okay, now exercise option number 2 is called retrospection. Now, all of us have a day 1 when we came onto this planet, in this body, in this lifetime, and we all have a day done, right? We're all gonna have our final day in this lifetime. And this is something that's super powerful that you can use as a pair of basically glasses to look back over your future life, your current life and your future life. Take a look back over your lifetime. Imagine you feel really proud. You feel really fulfilled. You feel really satisfied. You feel really happy when you look back over the course of your life. You just feel really good about the life that you were able to live. Think about what are the things that you were, that you did, and that you had to create those feelings of satisfaction, of pride, of feeling like this was a life well lived. Use this act of retrospection, preemptively, of course, because you have lots of time ahead of you, and reverse engineer it. What was it that I did that I just, now as I look back over the course of my life, I feel really good about? I feel like that was really the right choice. I feel like I'm really proud of how I spent my time. I'm really proud of who I showed up as. I'm really content with the things that I had or the things that I did or was able to do. What comes to mind for you there? That's exercise number 2. Exercise option number 3 is a little bit more lighthearted. I know we're talking in the previous one, we're talking about our deathbed and we can feel kind of a heaviness or a sense of pressure. For some people, it's very motivating and it's not a sense of pressure. If it's not for you, totally fine. You don't have to do all these exercises. You just got to choose the ones that really speak to you. So this one might speak to you if it's a little bit more lighthearted in your eyes. It's called the Genie. Very traditional approach to wishing, essentially. But now we're translating wishing into dreaming, and eventually dreaming into strategizing. Because if we just sit around and wished all the time, those wishes just end up here in the ethereal and we never take actual action around. So in this application of the Genie, think about if you had a magic lamp and you had a genie and it was able to grant you 3 wishes, and you can't wish for more wishes, obviously. You can't wish for more wishes, and you can't wish for people to do things that they don't want to do. Okay, we're not stepping into other people's lives here. We're sticking to our personal boundary system. So if you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Very simple, very traditional, but sometimes it's the simplest stuff that helps unlock the biggest revelations. So that's exercise number 3, the Genie. Exercise number 4, I love. I love because this is where the magic happens, and this is where it can unlock a lot of things for people when they take this particular road. It's called the feels. Now, a lot of times we choose, these are the things that I want to be, these are the things I want to do, these are the things I want to have, because it will make me feel a certain way. If I had this job promotion, I would feel valued at my place of employment. If I had a life partner, I would feel loved. I would feel respected. I would feel like I belong as part of a family or a community. I want to be debt-free. I don't want to have any more debt to my name because I want to feel a sense of freedom, that I can just do whatever I want to and that I have the funds to do it. Right? So in those examples, we're talking about feeling valued. We're talking about feeling loved. We're talking about feeling a sense of belonging. We're talking about a feeling of freedom. We're talking about feelings here. Now, feelings, we can talk about like it feels a certain way to feel free, but we can also talk about feelings in the respect of emotions. Like I feel happy. I feel satisfied. I feel really proud of how I move through the world. So in this particular exercise, I want you to lean into what feelings you would love to experience more on a more regular or consistent basis. Because you might want to feel loved, and you might feel loved occasionally. Like if someone says thank you for something that you did, or if someone, gives you flowers for Valentine's Day or your birthday or something, but perhaps you want to feel that sense of love, being loved and appreciated. Maybe you want to feel that more consistently, right? So here in this particular exercise, not only lean into what feelings would I love to feel more, how would I love to feel more consistently, but also give what would I love to feel less a shot as well. So if you feel tired, if you feel frustrated, if you feel in conflict, if you feel invisible, that's okay to write down, these are things I want to feel less of, because that'll help get you into the opposite of, okay, if you don't want to feel this, what would you love to feel instead? That can be the springboard into the feelings you want more of as well. Okay, so that's exercise number 4, the feels. So exercise option number 5 is called release. Now it builds upon what we were talking about in exercise number 4, the feels, when we started to talk about what are the feelings that you experience that you're ready to let go of. You don't want to feel these kinds of things anymore. This expands upon that and says, what are the things that I'm thinking about, the ways that I'm moving through the world, the things, the physical things in my life, maybe in my office, in my home, that I'm just hanging on to, that I'm ready to let go of. So this could be anything from mental activities to emotional experiences to physical things to actions, right? Actions, behaviors, things that are going on in your life that you're really ready to let go of. The beauty about letting go of things is that, one, the release process can be remarkably cathartic. And it can feel like a weight off of your shoulders. It can help bring closure to things that maybe there's a little bit of unresolved rawness around. And it, secondly, creates space for things that you do want more in your life of. So activities or people or a new relationship with yourself, right? So for example, when I say relationship with yourself, oftentimes we are our own worst critics. There's this funny saying that's saying, if you treated everyone in the world or everyone around you the way that you treat yourself in here, we would all be in jail, right? Because we are so mean to ourselves. We are often so rude to ourselves. We are often so berating of ourselves. You can't go around and be treating people like that. And yet we go around treating ourselves like that, sometimes subconsciously. Sometimes we don't even notice it because we've been doing it for years. For years. Most people do it for their entire lifetime. You're here, and so you have the opportunity to do it differently, which is amazing. So if you were to release an unsupportive or maybe even destructive way of relating to yourself, you make space for a more supportive way of relating to yourself, treating yourself, helping yourself grow instead of beating yourself up for not being wherever you're supposed to be yet. Okay? So when you think about the release exercise, talk to yourself about what are the thoughts, the beliefs, the habits, the activities, could be the people, the relationships, the physical things in my life that I'd love to release. One, it might bring me closure. Two, it might be really cathartic and help with a healing process. It could just create more space in my life, in my house, right? So I could feel, talking about feels, so I could feel more free flowing in my own space. It could make space for something intangible to come in as well. New habits, new ways of thinking, new ways of being that enhance your life going forward. So that's exercise number 5, release. Exercise option number 6 is actually really exciting, and it's a really, it challenges you, I will say that. So this exercise is called values, and here we're talking about your core values. These things, these ideals, these concepts that are of paramount importance to you. Our values are going to be unique to us. Okay, so everyone will agree that honesty is a good thing, right? Living in integrity is a good thing. Being good to the environment is a good thing. But not everyone holds everything as a core value. A core value means that it drives your decision making. It is more important than these other values, which you're still saying these are good values, these are good things to embody or to live in alignment with. But our unique combination of core values is very specific to us and how we see the world and how we want to show up on this planet. So the thing is, very few people actually take the time to articulate what are my core values. What are mine that really make me tick? What are the ones I want to embody more? And in the workbook, you have, let's see, it's 2 pages, 2 full pages of values for you to go through and circle which are the ones that really stand out for you. When you go through, and the instructions are in the work, but I'll take a second to read it to you. Circle your top 5 core values and then star the ones that you circled that aren't actually as present in your life as you would like them to be. So if you say, for example, that one of your core values, let's say, is creativity, but you don't really feel very creative in your life on any given day. And creativity doesn't have to be like art, like visual art. It doesn't have to be, painting or modeling or clay making and things like that. It doesn't have to be the traditional arts. Creativity can mean anything to you. So if you want to say, I want to be problem solving more. I want to invent things. I want to create new uses for things in my house outside of the traditional norms. That might be what creativity looks like for you. And that's actually leads me into another point. All of these things that you're going to see here, like cooperation, dignity, fun, hope, humility, justice, we all have our own personal interpretation of what those look like in action. So you don't have to reach out and say, what does optimism mean? Like, how should I interpret that? You interpret that however it makes sense to you. Circle your top 5, star the ones that you wish were making more of a prominent presence in your daily life. Now, exercise number 7, this is the final option of accessing your dream portion of this work, meaning what is it that I want, what I want to be, what I want to do, what I want to have, and what do I want to give in this life. Exercise option number 7 helps get you into that by analyzing the current status of your life. What's going on in each area of your life and how satisfied do you feel in those areas? Because the ones with the lowest ratings are the ones that are probably calling out for the most attention in your life and really ready to be changed or transformed in some kind of way. Now, if you've ever worked with a coach before, chances are you may have done this exercise, which is awesome because this is a way of actually quantifying your quality of life, which can be kind of a tricky thing to do because it's so, ethereal. It's very intangible. So sometimes we can have kind of a tricky time measuring our progress when we're working with a coach or with a therapist or a counselor. we can feel the difference, and we can often see the difference in our thought patterns or our behaviors. But this is a really cool exercise to help quantify the difference. If it's something that you're really working toward, if this exercise resonates with you, lean into the workbook. So essentially, what I've done in the workbook is create a variety of different areas of your life. And I'll read off a few in just a second, but basically you're going to rate them on a vitality scale. 1 means this area of my life is completely unfulfilling. There is 0 vitality felt here at all. I feel basically dead in this area. A level 10 rating means I am completely fulfilled. I feel so alive. I feel so vibrant in this space. So here are some of the areas that are listed here. I've also included a few blank spaces in case there's an area of your life that I haven't listed here, but it's relevant to your day-to-day. Also, this is Safari. She's making her official appearance now, and she will make appearances on future videos because she loves the camera. Okay, so the areas of life that are here in the workbook are your mental health, your physical health, 4 different kinds of relationships: partner relationships, family relationships, friends relationships, and your relationship with yourself. Because I imagine it might be a different rating on the vitality scale of how vital you feel in your relationship with your partner. And if you don't have a partner, maybe you're going to put a 1, saying I feel really unfulfilled in this because this area doesn't exist for me in my life, versus how you feel in your relationship with yourself, or how you feel in your relationship with like your kids or your parents. You get to be specific. So obviously for friends, that's a pretty broad term. If you want to take a closer look at, I want to look at the vitality I have with my close friends versus my best friends, because I feel like the work with my close friends, I feel like I could feel a little bit more alive there. That's okay. You can personalize this to however your life is calling for you to attend to it. The other areas here are your finances, your career or vocation, your lifestyle / quality of life, your community, your home environment, your personal growth, and travel. So you might add something additional there, like the businesses that I own, which might be under career / vocation, but you might want to segment that out if it's pertinent to you. It might be your practice of faith. If you are a particularly devout person of faith or religion and you want to take a closer look at that, you can add your areas of life as relevant here. Okay, so again, it's the instructions are in the workbook, but essentially we're rating these areas on a scale of 1 to 10 based on how alive you feel. The ones where you're not feeling very alive or lit up about, those are the ones that perhaps you might want to set some goals around for the next 4-week cycle. So all of these different options, exercise, let me just go through them again. Dream exercise option number 1 was to go through if I had the team resource, if I had the time, the energy, the attention and money, I would be, do, and have X, Y, and Z. Exercise option number 2 is retrospection. When you're approaching day done and imagine you're feeling a sense of pride, satisfaction, happiness, contentment. What's happened in your life leading up to that point that causes those feelings? Exercise option number 3 is the Genie. Remember, we have 3 wishes here. Exercise option number 4 is the feels. What are you looking to feel more of or less of? And remember, if you're looking to feel less of certain things, ask yourself the piggyback question of, here's what I would love to feel instead of those things. Exercise option number 5 is release. What are you willing to, or not willing, but what are you ready to let go of? And this could be thought patterns, this could be behaviors, this could be relationships, this could be physical things that you're ready to release. Exercise option number 6 was our core values exercise, and exercise number 7 was the areas of life rating exercise. Now, again, you get to choose however many of these exercises you would love to explore. So it could be all 7 of them if you really want to dive in, they all sound exciting to you, or it could be just 1 or 2. I would invite you to do at least 1, because if you don't do at least 1 exercise, you're going to have a lot of trouble moving into the other pieces of this goal setting process. Because one of the biggest problems that people run into is they set goals that other people want, or that sound good on paper, or that they think they're supposed to want. Having goals that are not personally resonant to you is one of the top reasons people fail at getting their goals in the first place. So choose something from these exercises that gets at the authentic core piece of what you really want. Now, notice if you feel a sense of, who am I to want this stuff? A sense of, I don't deserve that. Like, it's just little old me. Like, I don't want, all of these. This seems too much to ask for. This seems too much to want. Notice any kind of shame, any kind of embarrassment. Like, if somebody knew that I wanted this, if like this was my dream, people would laugh me out of town, or they would roll their eyes and be like, yeah, okay. Or they would have some other kind of judgment. Notice when those assumptions sneak in. Write them down somewhere. We're not going to work on them right now, but that's what the club is for, so that we can dive deeper into those things. Allow yourself to go through these dream exercises. Remember, at least 1 of them. You can do all 7 if you want to, or you can do 2 of them or 3 of them, whatever you want to do, whichever of these exercises are really speaking to you, have fun with them. The only thing I ask is that you are really authentic with it. Like, you're really genuine, that it's really you answering the questions and going through the exercises, and not the version of you that you feel like you have to show up as. Okay? Those 2 versions of you can be remarkably different. And the thing is, if we keep leaning into the version of us that other people expect of us, or are used to, or wish we were, the more, like, that is a rabbit hole that just continues and continues and continues. And it's really hard to get back onto the authentic you track once you're so off course. Okay, so it can feel like kind of scary. I'll admit, it can feel kind of scary. It can feel kind of like a big deal to lean in to the authentic version of you through this, but commit to it. I promise you it will be worth it in the end. Okay, so have fun, download the workbook, make this a really fun process for yourself. It doesn't have to be super heavy. Choose the exercises that you want to play with, and I'll see you in the second training video, the second exercise, and the part of this process, and that's organize. Okay, see you there.